Hi guys, it's Crazy Chess Adventures back here again. Just another episode in our Road to 2200 series. For those of you who are new, we're trying to get to 2200 playing this opening. So I'm just going to get the real-time playback of this game happening. So this is the opening that we're playing all the way to 2200. Now I've never reached 2200 before in any chess variant. So this is going to be 2-minute bullet plus a 1-second increment. So just a bit of time to think. It's not all just speed like a 1-minute bullet. So I genuinely want to improve my chess on this journey. So my peak all-time high rating is 2183. And you can see to start this game off, we're 2157. So this actual game that I'm playing here is against 2300 odd rated player. You can see the opening is not very comfortable for me, and my strong opponent is coming out of the gate, putting me under a lot of pressure. They've got this beautiful pawn on d5, they're playing f4, they've got the bishop fianchettoed on b2, all sorts of nastiness. I just played h5 there to stop the queen swinging into h5. Our opponent very quickly responded with knight f3, putting the pressure on. Now we're looking at, if the pawn takes on e5, we're looking at either a d6 discovery or a if I take with the f pawn, then then my king's a bit exposed as well. So I think I have to take with the f pawn here because I don't want the discovery. And then the castle, very strong move here. Now we've got all sorts of discoveries. We've got knight takes e5, knight g5, all very strong moves. So I have to play knight f6 to get rid of those knight discoveries. But the knight comes in anyway, as it very well can. So I have to retreat the king here. And now the knight has a square on e6. It could potentially go to, not just yet, because if he does do that, I will be playing d5. So instead, white opts for knight e2. So I decided to attack that really annoying bishop, bishop c4. Just reason this video is a little bit different to my usual format where I'm recording live. I actually was recording live, but I was using a different software and it kind of messed up. So just going to record my reaction to the real-time playback of the two games I played today. Okay, let's have a look. So bishop's double back to the very good d3 square, doesn't obstruct the queen, and has potential to swing and attack. Now, I believe that if simply doubling the bishop back to e2 here is probably a good move, because then it kind of forces the swap off, and then after that the knight can jump into e6. However, our opponent decided to opt for the queen swing as well. So at this point, we're about equal on time. I've got about 54 seconds there. I'm just thinking what to do. What did I play here? Did I play knight d7? Yeah, knight d7, but that would trap the bishop. I think I might have resigned myself to the fact, because the thing is, okay, no, I didn't. I played this takes move here on d5. So look, there is some nastiness with pins on e4, but I figured that if I had the chance to recapture that pawn, might as well go for it. And while attack is knight on g5, which is hanging. So it defends the knight on g5, and I decide to pin it, and then they bring reinforcement into e4. So at this point, we've got a lot going on here. I'm actually a bit lower on time, 35 seconds, and then the bishop gets trapped. So I decide, you know what? My bishop's already there. I'm just committing to it and just moving my knight back across, trying to defend everything, stop that knight coming into f7 with that very, very nasty fork, that kind of thing. Obviously, you can't do it right now because I would take the queen, but just stopping those ideas and bringing another defender in to not only g4, but also to attack that knight on e4. So just put a bit more pressure in, just relocate my knight to that strong position. Get a bit involved in the king side. So at this point, our opponent's time's ticking down. Now we've got about 10 seconds more than this. Time will become a factor in this game. So I go for the swap on e4. Going with the attack the queen there, and then we have the real idea of the move is unleashing the discovery of the bishop on e7. So I decided to take and give up the exchange with the rook on a8. We do have a few ideas here. Maybe I was considering bishop f4, but I decided just to go straight for the exchange now and then play bishop f4. Not really sure what was best there, but I think either way is probably okay. Okay, so I'm just playing very quickly here because our opponent's only got 6 seconds left. We just want to keep the pressure on them. Our position is very, very solid. And then we're just going, capturing that h5 pawn, putting the pressure on with the queen down there. Unfortunately, our opponent is quite strong, but we do find bishop e3 just to get that pin and win the exchange. Just to double up on our move here, we're going to play the knight into g4. Rook comes into d8, we simply dodge the check, and then we swap everything off. Double exchange, swap on f2. So that's all she wrote. Not quite, because our opponent, even though they've only got 3 seconds left and are majorly disadvantaged material-wise, they do put up a very, very strong fight for the rest of the game. Actually, I think they might have even had, let's turn the Stockfish analysis on at the moment. They might have had a winning advantage at some point. So at the moment, you can see with Stockfish that we've got it did say about 5 seconds ago, we had a bit of an advantage. It was yet -4. So this should be a clear win for us. However, I believe there might be a point where they may or may not have managed to equalize. So I'm very curious to see what happened here. I did make a couple of mistakes when executing this endgame, including hanging the rook, I believe. So let's just check this out. Chasing the pawn down the board. Opponent's only got 1 second left. This is fine, and then I make the mistake of rook. Not yet. Okay. Let's see what's happened. Not sure if that was a total. No, that wasn't a mistake. I thought I played something differently, but in any case, we get the queen here. So we get the queen, and then let's have a look. There's a battle to try and get this pawn, but my opponent's really not letting me die quietly. So I should play king c7 here. And then let's see what the opponent does here. And the opponent, very, very not giving up. They just keep checking away and defending everything. So it's actually quite a nuisance for me to try and solve this. I didn't find the queen d6 move there at the time, or the necessary combinations to win the pieces. But and then at this point, they run out of time. So actually, we didn't play the endgame too badly, but this is actually the highest rated opponent that I beat. So there were 23-38 before the game. And then we gained 11 rating points after that game. So there was one more game I did play. I wanted to play a bit more, but I think my internet was playing up. So I just went for the 2 games. So let's have a look at that other game that we played. Let's see. Okay, this is the one here. So this is the second game of the day. Let's have a look at what happened. Get the playback happening. So real-time playback. We've got the white pieces this time, playing our favorite Fried Fox attack with the white pieces, going for the very typical e3 move. It's very, very typical in the Fried Fox. If we can't immediately claim the center with d4, we'll play e3, and then just getting a solid pawn center. I believe I might have messed up a little bit, playing the d4 a bit hastily. They could have come in with taken on d4 and then put the queen into h4 with the check. Could have been a bit nasty for us, but it worked out okay. So let's have a look. Okay, and let's see. So I think we're waiting. There's a bit of time we're waiting for our opponent to make a move, and just wasn't really sure what they were going to do, but did kind of turn out okay. Let's have a look. So I wanted to get the queen out here in b3. I thought it was a very good square. We're a bit low on material, sorry, a bit low on space, so we wanted to move the queen out. Knight comes to h5, bit of a strange move. Let's see what I do. I've got the engine analysis on for this one, actually, just to make it a bit interesting. So looks like takes on d5 is the correct move here. Did I find it? I think I might have played it. Something similar. Yeah, I did play it. So takes on d5. And then I might have just gone for the take right there. So slight inaccuracy. And then I either played queen a4. Okay, that was a mistake. So bishop c4, the other move I was contemplating, was better. So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to lock everything down with f4, make sure there was, just try and eliminate a bit of nonsense on the king side. Okay, Engine says this is a mistake, but their opponent's clearly trying to dislodge and not let us quietly lock away our king. So they clearly wanted to dislodge. I did not play g5 here because that just looked way too scary to me. I played that bishop move, just trying to target the f5 square. So I think they kick us back with g4. Could be wrong, but that was part of the idea, is also to try and lock it down further with g4. No, so it looks like they went for the exchange. I believe I took with the knight here. Now the engine's saying that the pawn was the best piece to take that with. I was trying to lock everything up and had the idea of playing bishop to e3 here again. So let's have a look. Let's see what our opponent does. Okay, so our opponent's 2297, also one of the higher rated opponents that I've played. So you can see that as my ratings crawling back up to my previous all-time high of 2183 back, I got that in 2021, late maybe November. I'm trying to break that, trying to get to 2200 with the Fried Fox. We are playing some tougher opponents, so my opponent plays h5, seems like quite a strong move. Really pushing to try and attack our king side and dislodge it. So because of that, I played queen a6, just looking for a strong move that was, something we can do to keep the pressure on our opponent, trying to develop our pieces to better squares, because when there's no immediate tactical threats, I'm always trying to take the point of view, what is the best square that I can put my pieces on? So I'm always trying to maximize the coverage that these pieces are getting. So in this case, I thought a6 is a good outpost. Idea to swing into b7 maybe, but the opponent quickly puts a stop to that with c5. The engine does say that is a critical mistake. And we play the rook, swing the rook across the d file, which the engine doesn't mind too much. h4, so I made a mistake here. What was the best move just then? I should have pushed and locked it down. Okay, but that certainly didn't happen. And then I backed it up here, and it's actually in black's favor now. And I see that, yeah, actually playing g4, even though it looks a little bit scary, is actually quite a good way to lock everything down. Because you also have the pressure on the d7 knight if the bishop recaptures on g4. And because that queen is in that opportune square on a6, can swing back to b7 or b5 and in certain lines and put pressure on that knight. So continue with the game as played. Takes, let's see, and then brings the pawn down. And our opponent's running very low on time. We've got about 30 seconds. They've got 8 seconds. And I just played a rook to c2. And then our opponent looks like they just let the clock tick down. So 2 wins from 2 games today. We're back up to 2178. So just 5 points below my previous all-time high. If you enjoyed the video, found it useful, please drop a like and subscribe to follow my journey to 2200 with the Fried Fox. I'll catch you in the next one.